Yes, yes, and yes! Welcome to Coffee and Wealth. Finally, we are going to talk about one of my favorite investment app, Robinhood. But make sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Let's not waste any time. Fasten your seatbelt. Let's get started. Currently, Robinhood is one of the most popular investment app for retail investors. They were founded in 2013, right after the Great Recession. In the past 7 years, Robinhood has gained popularity among young investors due to its simplicity. But before we talk about the actual feature, we need to understand the different type of accounts that Robinhood offered. In Robinhood, there are 3 types of accounts, which are Robinhood Instant, Robinhood Gold, and Robinhood Cash. Both Robinhood Instant and Robinhood Gold are considered as margin account, whereas Robinhood Cash is a cash account. New users will always begin with Robinhood Instant. There is a major difference between a margin account and a cash account. We will discuss that later in this video. Next, let's take a look at the actual app. The main interface consists of 3 parts. The first part is the portfolio value and buying power. The second part is the actual portfolio owned. And the last part is the watch list. At the main interface, we can change the display value, such as current stock price, today's return, today's percent change, or total return. Robinhood has 4 main categories of investable assets, which are individual stocks, ETFs, options, or cryptocurrency. The first 3 can be traded on a regular market day, whereas cryptocurrency can be traded 24 hours. New registered users can only trade stocks, ETFs, and cryptocurrency at the beginning. If you want to trade options, you have to turn on this feature in the setting. User can also enable dividend reinvestment. This feature is usually for people with a dividend portfolio. It is not very commonly used. But most importantly, we have to know the day trade setting. This has to do with different type of account type. Make sure you always have this feature turned on, or else there could be huge consequences. Let me explain the day trade limit. If the account type is Robinhood Instant or Robinhood Gold, then you have a margin account. Buying and selling in a margin account will always be instant settled. So the Security Exchange Commission, which is known as the SEC, has a regulation on how many times an account can day trade. People usually cannot day trade for more than 3 times in a 5 trading day period. If you surpass the limit, then Robinhood will cease your account trading for 90 days. You will not be allowed to buy or sell within the 90-day pause. Imagine not being able to trade for 90 days. It would be a disaster. So to avoid this, always make sure you turn on the day trade limit function. This will prevent you from stepping over the limit. Worth noting, if you maintain an account balance of at least $25,000, then there is no day trade limit. This means that you can buy and sell intraday all you want. On the other hand, if you have a Robinhood Cash account, there is no day trade limit. This is because cash account always take 3 days to settle the funds. Once the funds is settled, then you can use the fund to make more purchases. Since there is a wait for the fund to settle, there won't be a problem with day trading with the same money before it can be settled. If you guys want to know the transaction that is classified as day trade, I will make a separate video to explain in the future. Next, let's introduce Robinhood Gold. This is the upgrade version of Robinhood Instant with a 30-day free trial and $5 per month afterward. There are a total of 4 major benefits of having Robinhood Gold. First, you have access to Morningstar reports. Morningstar is an independent, unbiased analysis company. Morningstar is an extremely reputable company in the investment world. They specialize in analyzing public companies' financial report and stocks. Second, you can have access to level 2 market data. This is just an additional feature that provides investors more data and information by Robinhood. Third, you can have instant deposit. Robinhood Instant account can only instant deposit up to $1,000 per day. Anything above that amount will need to wait 5 days for settlement. On the other hand, Robinhood Gold allows a minimum instant deposit of $5,000. Anything above will depend on account balance. For example, a $20,000 account can instant deposit up to $20,000. This feature capped out at $50,000 daily. But why is instant deposit so beneficial? Let me give you an example. Let's say there is a day when market dropped dramatically. If you want to purchase more stocks but have insufficient funds, then instant deposit becomes very handy. You can instant deposit and purchase right away. You will not have to wait 5 days for the fund to settle and miss the opportunity of buying into the market. Fourth, you can opt into margin. Users are allowed to turn on margin feature as long as they have a minimum account size of $2,000. To put this simple, margin is pretty much borrowing money to invest. The first $1,000 will not be charged any interest. Anything above that will bear an interest rate of 5% compound daily. Margin balance also depends on account size. For example, an account with $5,000 will allow to margin up to $5,000. In the $5,000 margin, the first $1,000 will be interest-free and the next $4,000 will bear an interest of 5%. If you are considering turning on the margin feature, please make sure to be extra careful. Because of leverage, there's a possibility to make a lot of money, but at the same time, it is possible to lose it all. On top of that, you might even receive a margin call, meaning you need to deposit additional funds to cover the losses. In summary, Robinhood Gold's most important feature is the instant deposit and $1,000 interest-free margin. The $5 monthly fee can be easily justified by those two features, but of course, it varies person by person. Next, let's take a look at the actual buying and selling. Users can search for any stock, ETF, or option for trading. For options, there are different expiration dates. I personally recommend new users not to jump into option too early. In the future, I'll also make another episode explaining option trading. When you trade stock, you can determine the buying or selling format. You can either purchase a whole share or fractional shares. There are also different types of market orders. It is actually very easy to navigate. After looking at all the features, we still need to talk about Robinhood's most controversial news. In the past couple years, Robinhood has been on the news quite frequently due to its problems. For example, March of this year, the server went down due to dramatic increase in trading volume. This caused the server to crash, so a lot of users were not able to trade on that particular day, which caused a lot of problems. This actually happened quite often recently, but Robinhood was able to fix that issue efficiently and keep on improving. In November 2019, there's another major news. Some users found a way to borrow unlimited money on margin. They were able to bypass the underwriting and borrow massive amount of money. But thank God Robinhood caught that loophole, or else it would be a disaster for the company. Lastly, let's take a look at the most recent news. In June of this year, a young gentleman was trading margin. He does not fully understand how it works and thought he owed a total of $730,000 when he sees a negative balance. He does not want to burden his family, so sadly he committed suicide. This news shocked the investment world, blaming that Robinhood did not fulfill its fiduciary duty and was to blame for the death of the young man. The speed that Robinhood has been growing has caused many problems along the way, but young retail investors still love the app due to its simplicity and function. Robinhood has allowed many people to enjoy the fun of investing. In summary, I personally love the Robinhood app, but I only use Robinhood for option trading rather than buying individual stock. I will explain the reason in my next video and introduce one of my favorite investment app, M1. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.